So welcome back to this lecture. Our next topic is absolute values. Okay, so we'll be discussing the second topic that will be absolute values, right? Now consider this as the number line. Okay, for the number line, this is the origin. To the right of it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. To the left of it, we have -1, -2, -3, -4. Now, what is absolute value? Absolute value. So basically, absolute value is nothing but how much far away the number is from the origin or zero, right? For example, what will be the absolute value of 3? Now 3 is how much far from 0? It is 3 units far away from 0. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. Similarly, what will be the absolute value of -3? -3 is again 3 units far away from the origin. So the absolute value will be 3, right? So 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 units. So which part of the origin is not important? To the right, generally to the right of the origin we represent them as the positive numbers. To the left of the origin we represent them as negative numbers. But for absolute values, which part of the origin the number is there is not important, but how much difference, how much distance the number is from the origin, it becomes important. And that's what determines the absolute value. Okay, so it is represented by this modulus, the modulus operator. So modulus of 3, so this is nothing but what is the absolute value of 3? It is 3. Okay, the distance from the origin. So modulus of -3 will be 3. Modulus of -7 will be 7. Okay, modulus of -7.5 will be 7.5. Okay, so how much far is the number from the origin is important, right? So these are the bookish definitions. Mod x is equals, basically this is how you calculate the absolute value. This is, you don't have to remember this. Simple thing you need to understand is the absolute value of any number is the value only. The sign does not matter. For example, just now I told modulus of -3 will be 3, modulus of -1.7 will be 1.7, and modulus of 1.7 will be 1.7. So the value, the sign of the number does not count when we are talking about absolute value. Only the magnitude is important, right? Okay, so all right, now take a different color. Okay, suppose you have mod x is given as 4, right? So for what values of x is this condition true? So basically what it is saying, what is a number x that is at a distance of 4 from the origin. So obviously there will be two numbers. One will be to the right side of origin 4, and one will be left side of the origin -4. So there will be two values for mod x is equals to 4. So what are the two values? X is equals to 4 and x is equals to -4. So these two values will satisfy the condition mod x is equals to 4, right? So one more example we will take. Suppose we have mod of 7x is equals to 21. So how many values of x will this be satisfied? So we can, there will be two values for 7x. One will be the positive 21 and one will be negative 21. Okay, so x will be equal to 21 by 7 or x will be equal to minus 21 by 7. So x will be equal to 3 or x is equals to minus 3. So we can write x is equals to plus or minus 3. Suppose we have mod of x is equals to 5. Then what will be the value of x? X will be equal to plus or minus 5. So there will be two values of x. Either x equal to 5 is true or x equal to minus 5. Right? So there will be two values of x. So that was about the basic definition of modulus. Okay. Now this is the first property that you have to understand. So modulus of xy. So multiplication of two modulus will be simply modulus of this and this. Okay. As there is nothing but the multiplication of I mean the sign will get diminished. Okay. For example, you have x as minus 2 and y as 3. Okay, so what will this be? So minus 2 into 3 is equals to mod of minus 6, right? So this is 6. So mod of xy is equals to this much. Now how much is mod of x into mod of y? So mod of minus 2 into mod of 3. So this is 2 into 3. So modulus of minus 2 is 2. Modulus of 3 is 3. So 2 into 3 is 6. So as you can see, this property, I mean whatever the sign of x and y, this property will get satisfied. You can try with different signs of x and y, right? Similarly, one more property will be there, the division property. As in the case of multiplication, mod x mod y, here also this can be separated. Here one condition, y is not equal to 0, because if y is 0, then this total equation becomes undefined, right? Now we'll do some problems. So first problem is mod x is equals to x plus 5. Okay, so as I said, what might be the values of x here? Plus or minus x plus 5. Okay, so first we will take the plus case. So x is equals to x plus 5 or x is equals to minus x plus 5. Minus x in brackets I will take, because the minus is for the whole part. Okay, now in the first case you can see here x are on LHS and RHS. Now if I bring x this one to the right side, it will become x minus 1, x minus x is equals to 5. Now this is 0, right? So this is a false condition, so we will ignore this and simply we can solve the next part. So minus x minus 5. Okay, if I bring x to the left hand side, it will become x plus x is equals to minus 5. X plus x is 2x is equals to minus 5. So x will be minus 5 by 2, which is equals to minus 2.5. So we have solved the first one. So for this we got x is equals to minus 2.5. Now we'll solve the second one. Similarly, we will take mod x is equals to x minus 5. Okay, so okay, so the b part of it, mod x is equals to x minus 5. So we can have two values of x. So x can be plus or minus of x minus 5. Now we will take the first plus part, x minus 5 here, and the negative part here, minus of x minus 5. So this again x minus x will be equal to minus 5. Again here x minus x will become 0. So this condition is falsy condition, and we will ignore that. And here we will take x equal to minus x plus 5, right? Minus of minus 5 is plus. So minus x, when I send it to the left hand side, it will become positive. So x plus x is equals to 5. Now we have 2x is equals to 5. So x will be equal to 5 by 2, which is equal to 2.5. Okay, so the second one we got x is equals to 2.5. Okay, now another problem we will do. So here we have modulus of x minus 1 by x plus 1 will be equal to x minus 1 by x plus 1. So again we will remove the modulus operator, and in the earlier case how we removed it, we removed it and we put plus or minus x plus 1 by x minus 1, right? Now again we will take one side the plus condition, so x minus 1 by x plus 1 is equals to, let us assume this is positive, right? Okay, and the other side we will take x minus 1 by x plus 1 is equals to minus of x plus 1 by x minus 1. Okay, now we will solve it. So this will become, if we cross multiply, x minus 1 whole square will be equal to x plus 1 whole square. Now this is again a falsy condition, you will see how. Okay, so we'll get x equal to 0. So x square minus 2x plus 1. Okay, this is x minus 1 whole square if you enlarge it, and this is x square plus 2x plus 1. So x square on this side, x square on this side will cancel. 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled. So if I send minus 2x to the right hand side, we will get 4x. 2x plus 2x is 4x equal to 0, and I will get x equal to 0, right? Now similarly I can do this cross multiplication. X minus 1 whole square is equal to minus of x plus 1 whole square. So I will get x square minus 2x plus 1 is equals to minus of x square plus 2x plus 1. Now if I send this to the right hand side, we will get x square minus 2x plus 1. Now when I send this the right RHS equation to the LHS equation, it will become positive because the complete is minus sign. So this will be x square plus 2x plus 1 is equals to 0. Now 2x and minus 2x will get cancelled, so we will have 2x square plus 2 is equals to 0. Now this is nothing but x square is equals to minus 1, so x will be equal to root of minus 1. Okay, this will be the solution, but here somewhere it will be mentioned that x belongs to real numbers, so this is not true, right? So because x equal to root of minus 1 is not a real number, it is a different number. We will discuss it, what kind of number is root of minus 1 in some other chapter, but right now since we are discussing this in discussing calculus, we will ignore it. It is not a real number, and hence the answer to the first one is x equal to 0, right? So we got that from here. Okay, now the next part B. So we have x square minus 5x plus 6 modulus is equals to minus of x square minus 5x plus 6, right? So that was the question. Yep. So what we will do, the same thing. So we will take x square minus 5x plus 6 is equals to plus or minus of, we already have minus of x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, here simply you can when we multiply plus with minus, it will become minus minus, and when we multiply minus with plus, minus with minus, it will become plus. So this will be x square minus 5x plus x. So I hope you understood what I did. So here basically this plus or minus I have multiplied with the minus, just got inverted. Basically it's the same thing, right? So first case we will take when the RHS sign is negative, or first we will take positive. So you can see LHS is equals to RHS, and we cannot solve this equation further, and hence we have to solve the other equation. So we will take x square minus 5x plus x is equals to minus of x square minus 5x plus x. Now if I send this to the right hand side, basically these two are the same thing, so simply I can add 2 into x square minus 5x plus 6 is equals to 0. So I will get here x square minus 5x plus 6 is equals to 0. Now to solve this there are two ways. The one way is you can use that formula minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a, or you can simply factorize this. Now how you will factorize, what are the multiples of 6? 1 into 6, then we have 2 into 3, 3 into 2, and obviously 3 into 2 and 6 into 1. Now what is the summation of this? Summation of this is 7. The summation of this is 5. But since here positive sign is there, now suppose in a negative sign is there, we will take, so how to solve this? Basically there is a different chapter for that. For right now just try to understand this can be written as x square minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 is equals to 0. This can be simplified, x into x minus 3 minus 2. Okay, so basically you got x minus 2 into x minus 3 is equals to 0. So either x minus 2 is 0 or x minus 3 is 0 for this equation to become 0, right? So we will get x is equals to 2 or 3, right? So that's how you solve the two equalities, and we'll move on to the next problem. So this is the problem. Okay, so before doing this problem, I want to discuss some more properties. Okay, so we will discuss this property here, triangular inequalities. So far we have discussed two properties. The first property was mod of xy is equals to mod x into mod y, right? The second property was mod of x by y will be equal to mod x by mod y, right? Now the third property, this is also called triangular inequality for real numbers. Now what we will do is, suppose I take a plus or minus b, right, is less than a plus mod b. Okay, so first thing you need to understand is what is mod a whole square, right? So what is mod a? It is plus or minus a whole square. So minus a whole square is a square, as well as plus a whole square is also a square. So mod a square will be a square, right? Similarly for mod b whole square, when I square the mod b, so what is mod b? Basically it's plus or minus b, right? Whole square. So plus b whole square is also b square, and minus b whole square is also b square. Minus b into minus b is b square, right? So that you need to understand first. So here basically you have mod a square is equals to a square and mod b square is equals to b square. The third point that you need to understand is mod a into mod b is greater than 0. That is, this is a positive number. Okay, why? Because it is a multiple of two absolute numbers. When we talk about absolute numbers, there are no signatures, so that means a and b are only the multiples of magnitude. That is, even if a is minus 3, the magnitude of minus 3 becomes 3. So that means 3 multiplied with another magnitude, say 4 or 5, will always be positive. Okay, so these three things you need to understand. Now once you have understood that, what I will do is I will take mod a plus mod b and I will square them. Okay, what is mod a plus mod b? A plus b whole square formula. So this is mod a whole square plus 2 mod a mod b plus mod b whole square, right? So how much is this? This is basically a square plus 2 mod a mod b plus b square, right? So this is one term. Now I will take mod of a plus or minus b whole square, right? So mod a plus or minus b whole square is nothing but a plus or minus b whole square. Now this plus or minus, as I explained, mod a square is equals to a square, then obviously mod of a plus b whole square will be equal to a plus b whole square. So then what will be the answer to this? This will be a square plus b square, or a square plus or minus 2ab plus b square, right? Now I have a statement here. We have mod a plus mod b whole square, that will be equal to a square plus 2 mod a mod b plus b square. Then we have mod of a plus or minus b whole square, that we got a square plus or minus 2ab plus b square. Now when you see these two equations, these two squaring equations, you can see a square is common, b square is common. Only things that are different are 2ab, 2 mod ab mod b, and 2ab, right? And what I'm saying is 2 of mod ab will always be greater than or equal to plus or minus 2ab. Why it is? Because okay, because this is always a positive number, right? This may be positive or negative. So suppose this is positive, then this both will be equal. And when this number becomes negative, this plus or minus 2ab. So basically 2ab can be positive or negative, right? When 2ab is positive, obviously 2 2 mod a mod b will be equal to plus or 2 mod a mod b. So what I'm trying to say is, if 2ab is positive, then this will be equal to 2 of mod a mod b. Okay. If 2ab is negative, then it will be less than 2 of mod a mod b. Why? Because negative numbers are obviously lesser. Okay. So plus or minus 2ab may be negative or positive. Okay. Here I have taken, basically I can take here plus or minus, but just for easy understanding I have taken this. So one thing you need to understand is, if plus or minus 2ab is positive, then it will be equal to 2 of mod a mod b. If it is negative, it is less than 2 mod a mod b. So from that we can say 2 mod a mod b is always greater than or equal to plus or minus 2ab, right? So because 2a plus or minus 2ab can never be greater than 2 of mod a mod b, whereas 2 of mod a mod b can be greater than plus or minus 2ab. So from this we can tell that this equation, that is a square plus 2 of mod a mod b plus b square, is greater than or equal to a square plus or minus 2ab plus b square. So what is this equation? Basically it is mod a plus mod b whole square is greater than or equal to mod of a plus b whole square, right? So when we remove squaring, it is nothing but the property that we were discussing. Okay, so the triangle, okay, so basically I have reversed it. You can understand, basically this is less than this. Okay, so this uh, x plus or minus y is always less than or equal to x plus or minus, sorry, mod x plus mod y. Okay, now similarly we can also prove this property. Now here here I have talked about, there is one condition where mod of x plus or minus y will be equal to mod of x plus mod of y. And when will be that condition? When 2 of mod x mod y will be equal to or plus or minus 2xy will be equal to 2 of mod x mod y. Now when will be this condition fulfilled? Okay, so again it depends, right? Now first we will take x plus y case, right? In x plus y we have 2xy is equals to 2 of mod x mod y. So in x plus y case, if x and y are of same sign, then obviously xy becomes positive. For example, 2 comma 3 or minus 2 minus 3. What is the multiplication of 2 into 3? It is 6. Minus 2 into minus 3 is 6. Whereas 2 comma minus 3, the multiplication will become minus 6, right? 2 into minus 3 is minus 6, or minus 2 3. Minus 2 into 3 becomes minus 6. So if we have this condition, x plus y is equals to mod x plus mod y, this is only true when x comma y are both of same signs, correct? So that I have explained here. 2xy is equals to 2 of mod x mod y. This is only true when xy and mod x mod y are of same signs, otherwise it is not true. And when will this condition be correct? Mod of x minus y is equals to mod x plus mod y. This condition will be true when x comma y are of different signs. That is, either x is positive or y is negative, or y is positive and x is negative. So only then this condition will be true. Why? Because minus 2xy should be equal to 2 mod x mod y, and this will be only true when xy is negative, and xy will be negative when x and y are of different signs, right? So from that, I think we will conclude this property. So first thing you need to understand is that mod of x plus or minus y is less than or equal to mod x plus mod y, and the equality exists at certain condition, that is x plus y is equals to mod x plus mod y when they are of same signs. X minus y will be equal to x mod x plus mod y when they are of different signs, right? So this is the fourth property, and it is similar to the triangular inequality. It is little reverse. So the same way we proved the earlier one, we will prove this. So how we will prove this is, we will square on LHS and RHS. So we will have x square plus or minus 2xy plus y square in the LHS. In the RHS we will have x square minus 2 of mod x mod y plus y square. Now in the RHS you can see there is a minus sign, right? And this is a positive number. So minus of positive number is a negative number. So this is a negative number. Always it is a negative number. Whereas this number, you can see, it may be negative. In case it is negative, this term, this LHS will be equal to RHS. Okay. In case plus or minus 2xy is negative, this whole term will be equal to this term. And in case it is positive, this term is greater than this term. So simply we can put this LHS term is greater than the RHS term, but at one condition they are equal as well. What is that condition? When plus or minus 2xy is negative, that is, it is equals to minus 2 of mod x mod y, right? And when will that condition be? Now this condition will be only true when x comma y are of different signs or opposite signs. right? Again, this is for x plus y modulus case. That is for what is x, if we take x modulus of x plus y, what is this component? Only the plus component, right? So 2xy will be equal to minus of this, and this is only possible when x and y are of different signs. Whereas in the case of mod of x minus y, we will have this term minus of 2xy is equals to minus of 2xy. So when they are of same sign, this is true. So okay, you don't have to remember it. You need to, however, remember how we solve the problem uh, in case this type of problem pops up. But by practice, you will remember all this. Okay. Now we will go back to the problem, right? So this was the problem. So you can see here x square plus 4x. So basically this is in this form, right? Mod of x plus y now equal to x plus y, right? Isn't it in that form? Mod of x plus y is equals to mod x plus mod y. Yes, the first problem is, in fact, both the problems are in the forms that we discussed, right? So we'll solve, that's why I've discussed the property earlier. Now here, what is x? Or the first term is x square plus 4x plus 9, and the second term is 2x minus 3. Okay. Okay, so from this condition, so what? So right. So okay. So what I want to tell is, when is this condition true? This condition is true when x comma y are of same signs. Okay, that is if x, the this term is positive, this term is also positive. When this term is negative, this term is also negative. Now, when you see this term, x square plus 4x plus 9. Now this term can be written as x square plus 4x plus 4 plus 5, which is nothing but x plus 2 whole square plus 5. Now this term is always positive. Why? Because whatever value of x you take here in this equation, say if I take the value of x as minus 5, right? So minus 5 plus 2 is how much? Minus 3. Minus 3 whole square is 9. Because x plus 2 term is getting squared, and that means it is only getting positive. So from that we can conclude that this term is a positive term always. So therefore x plus 4x plus 9 is a positive term, it is always greater than 0, right? So that means the other term, that is 2x minus 3, should be greater than 0, because of the theorem we proved earlier. So from that we will get 2x is greater than 3, and simply we'll get x is greater than 3 by 2, or x is greater than 1.5, right? Now the next term is in this form, x minus y is equals to mod x mod y, right? Now when is this true? Mod of x minus y, so this is true when x and y are of same signs again, right? So we have proved that. I'll just show you. So when x minus y we have, this is true when they are of same sign, right? Okay. So again, if you square it on both sides, we'll get minus 2xy will be equal to, okay, I'll just square it on both sides for more explanation. So this is nothing but, if when we square it on both sides, we'll get x square minus 2xy. So generally squaring this means the it is basically plus or minus x minus y whole square. The plus or minus thing gets cancelled and it's simply x minus y whole square. So x minus y whole square is this much plus y square, right? X square minus 2xy plus y square will be equal to x square minus 2 of mod xy mod x mod y plus y square. Now only these two terms we have to see, minus 2xy and minus 2 of mod x mod y. Now this will be, now this term is obviously positive term, and because of this minus it becomes a negative term. 2 of mod x mod y is a positive term, and because of minus sign it becomes negative term. Whereas this term is already a minus sign is there, and we have 2 of xy. So this term should become positive, right? 2 of xy should become positive. When it will become positive? When either xy are both positive or xy are both negative. So from that we conclude that xy are of same signs. Now here what are x and y in the B part? We have two terms, x square minus 4 and then we have x square plus 2, right? Right. So now this x squared by 2 similar in the earlier case. Now this extent whatever for whatever values of x, this x squared plus 2 term is always positive, right? It is always positive and it is greater than 2 for any value of x that is a real number. Okay, so from that we can conclude that this term is also positive number, right? So we have x square minus 4 is greater than 0, so we will have x square is greater than 4, and we will have x is greater than 2, or simply we can put mod x is greater than 2. Okay, so this inequality we will discuss further, right? But before that we'll solve one more problem. Okay, so find the roots of the following equation, so and so, right? Now again, this how we have to solve I have discussed already. So sin x we will take is equals to plus, or we will remove the modulus, and because of that plus or minus is applied on the our right hand side. Okay, so first case we will take positive, sin x is equals to sin x plus 1. So this cannot be solved because sin x will get cancelled. So we will take sin x is equals to minus, first condition we have taken plus, and because and that cannot be solved any further, so we have taken minus in the next part, sin x plus 1. So when I send sin x to the left hand side, it becomes 2 sin x is equals to minus 1. So I will get sin x is equals to minus 1 by 2. So x will be 120 degrees, or based on the option you can write. Okay, sorry, it's not 120 degrees, it's minus 30 degrees. Okay, sine of 120 is root 3 by 2, sorry. Right, now the next term we have x square minus 2 of mod x minus 3 is equals to 0. Now basically from this it is clear that its factors are 3 and 1, right? 3 minus 1 is 2, so its factors are that. So we can simply write x square minus 3 of mod x plus mod x minus 3. Now when we take everything common, so we will get mod x plus 1 into mod x minus 3 is equals to 0. So we have got mod x plus 1 into mod x minus 3 is equals to 0, right? Now from this mod x plus 1 is 0, or mod x minus 3 is equals to 0. So mod x is equals to minus 1. Now this is false. So mod of x is absolute value is always positive, minus 1 it is not valid, right? Now here we will get mod x is equals to 3. So x is nothing but plus or minus 3, right? Now coming to inequality, we have discussed different properties. Now we will discuss the inequality, right? Now when I draw a number table or a number line for that matter, Okay, this is the number line, and this is the 0. I have so and so. And when I say the absolute value of x is less than or equal to 4, what does that mean? I am saying there is a number x for which the absolute value is less than 4. So how many numbers will that be? So basically it covers all numbers from 4 here. So it may be 4, it may be 3.9, it may be any number from 4 to 1, right? 4 to 0. So all the numbers in this zone it will come. Okay. Similarly, to the left hand side also, minus 4. When I say mod x is equals to 0, there will be many numbers. Sorry, mod x is less than 4. When I say there will be as many numbers between 0 and 4, and so are the numbers between 0 and minus 4. So this is the region I am talking about. So this complete region will come under mod x less than 4, sorry, less than or equal to 4. Okay, all these numbers comes under this. So simply we can write x is less than 4 and x is greater than minus 4. This way we can write. Okay, so all numbers, okay, less than or equal to, because there I have mentioned even less, even 4 maybe x, right? So all numbers that are greater than minus 4. So this basically this region is basically all numbers that is greater than minus 4, right? So that can be represented in this form. Okay, so minus 4 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. So that is represented. This is just one kind of representation. Basically it means all numbers that whose absolute value is less than 4 comes under mod x is less than 4. Okay, we'll take one more example for little more understanding. Suppose I have mod x is less than or equal to 3. Okay, this is the origin. Then what all numbers will come? So suppose this is 3, then all these numbers, right? So all numbers that are less than 3 will come, and to this side we will have all numbers that are greater than minus 3. Now we cannot represent this separate. I mean, we can represent, obviously we can say all numbers less than 3 and all numbers greater than minus 3. We can write this as a representation. This is less than or equal to again, or we can represent minus 3 less than x less than 3. This is basically the same thing. Here x is less than 3, here x is greater than minus 3. Okay, and this can be further represented in bracket form in this way, right? We will talk about bracket form in the next topic, functions, the what is open interval, what is close interval, in that topic. Just for completion sake I am telling it. Okay, so one more example and we will go to the next property. So when you say mod x is less than 5, okay, here I am not using equality. Okay, so what all numbers will come? This is the origin. So all numbers from plus 5 to 0, okay, including plus 5, so x less than or equal to 5, and all numbers greater than minus 5, that is this region. So x is greater than or equal to minus 5. Okay, the close notation can be written minus x less than or equal to x. Sorry, again mistake. Here there is no equality. In the earlier case it was equal. In this case there is no equality, that is x cannot be 5, it is less than 5. So 4.999 is there but 5 is not there. Okay, that's what equality means. So here x is greater than minus 5 and x is less than 5 and x is not 5 and minus 5. So I can write minus 5 less than x less than 5, and this is represented not in closed bracket, it is represented in open bracket. What are this we'll discuss in the next topic, but just for understanding, you can feel it. Okay, so that was about this property. The next property is mod of x. Suppose I take greater than or equal to 4 again. Now what I'm asking is what all numbers are there on the number line that are at a distance greater than 4 from the origin. So what all numbers will be there? Any number that is greater than or equal to 4. So all these numbers will come in the number line. Say it may be 4.1, 4.2 and so on. There are many numbers. This is when we talk to the right side. If we take the left hand side, suppose this is minus 4. So all numbers that are less than or equal to minus 4 will come on this. So if mod x is greater than or equal to 4, we will have all numbers that are greater than or equal to 4 and all numbers that are less than or equal to minus 4. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to the problem. Now here we had mod x is equals to, not this one I guess. Actually, this was it. Okay, so this was simple equality, so x equal to plus or minus 3. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll go to the next problem. So this is the inequalities we need to solve, right? Okay, so we will do that one by one. Okay. So we have the first inequality, a, mod of 2x minus 3 is less than 1. So what did I say? For this there will be two conditions, right? When mod of x is less than 4, what did I say? There will be one number. For the positive number, x will be less than 2 and x will be greater than minus 4, right? So similarly, we'll have 2 here. So 2x minus 3 will be less than 1 and 2x minus 3 will be greater than minus 1. Okay. So one thing you need to remember while doing mathematical operations in inequalities, you need to be very clear, and you can't directly shift 2x to this side and minus x like that. You can't do because that will lead to errors. So one thing we will do is we will keep on adding numbers and dividing numbers or multiplying numbers on both the sides. Okay, we'll not be transferring numbers to one side to other like that, right? So 2x minus 3, what we'll do is we'll add 3 on both sides because we want to cancel this 3. So less than 1 plus 3. So this will become 2x will be less than 4, right? Because 3 will get cancelled here and 1 plus 3 will be 4. Now we will divide this 2 with 2. Okay, so that will become x will be less than 2. 2 ones are 2 twos are. Okay, again we have a similar approach to this one also. So we will have 2x minus 3. We will add 3 on both sides greater than minus 1 plus 3. So minus 3 minus plus 3 will get cancelled. We will have 2x will be greater than minus 1 plus 3 is 2, right? Now we will divide by 2 on both sides. Now x will be greater than 1, right? So we got the solution. We got x is less than 2 and x is greater than 1. Can we write it in the short form? Yes, we can write because 1 is less than 2, so we can write. So 1 is less than x and x is less than 2, right? So this is the solution of the first part. Now we will move on to the next one. So we have b x minus 2 whole square, okay, is greater than 4, right? So this simply we can put is greater than root of 4, right? And this becomes x minus 2. What is root of 4? This is nothing but plus or minus 2. Okay. Okay. Now, because this is getting complicated, what we will do is, because plus or minus 2, right? So we don't want plus or minus 2 to come on the right side, and this should not come in an inequality. Plus or minus 2 should not come in an inequality. So what we will do is, we will take the modulus here. Okay, because modulus of x minus 2 whole square is nothing but x minus 2 whole square. So here when we do the square root, this will become x minus 2 modulus of x minus 2 is greater than 2. Okay, because root of 4 is 2, and I don't want to do plus or minus. I don't want to take x minus 2 and do plus, and we cannot do that. Okay, in case of inequalities. So what will be the solution for this? When mod x is greater than alpha, what we told the solution was x is greater than alpha and x is less than minus alpha. So here the solution will become x minus 2 is greater than 2 and x minus 2 is less than minus 2. Okay, so x minus 2 is greater than 2. Now we add 2 on both sides, and this becomes x is greater than 4, and we have x minus 2 greater than minus 2. So now we add 2 on both sides, so x is greater than 0. So we will have, sorry, x is greater than minus 2 plus 2. So this is x greater, this 2 gets cancelled and this 2 will get cancelled, and we will have x is greater than 0, right? So what is the solution of this now? Sorry, this is x is less than minus 2. This is also x is less than this, and this is less. So what is the solution now? So solution is x is less than 0 and x is greater than 4. Okay, so this is the solution. Only trick part here is, now you can't do like this here. X minus 2 is greater than plus or minus 2. Now you can't do this, because because this is a square term and we don't know the value of x. So the best way to solve is take the modulus of x minus 2 and then the inequality, that is greater than 2, and you know how to solve the inequality, right? The next part is x square plus 2x minus 8 is less than 0. Less than or equal to, sorry. Now clearly, this is a fraction form, and we will get two roots, say alpha and beta, right? Now when the solution is less than is in this form, that is less than or equal to 0, the solution will be here. Okay, all the values of x in between alpha and beta will be the answer when the inequality is less than 0, and similarly when the inequality is greater than 0, the solution will be this one, that is minus infinity to alpha and beta to infinity. Okay, this thing you need to remember, because here right now we will be solving a equation and we will be getting two roots, and you need to write the final solution, and the solution will be between alpha and beta. You can do that, you can verify, you can take a number between the uh, two two real numbers, that between the two roots that we are find, and you can verify it, and it will be less than 0, right? So what are the fractions of this? The fractions of this are 4 and 2, right? So x square plus 4x minus 2x minus 8 is less than 0. So basically we will get x plus 4 and x minus 2 is less than 0. So now the roots we got is minus 2. Here we have origin, and sorry, minus 4 is the root, and we got 2. So this is minus 4 and 2 are the roots we got, and the solution will be this one, right? So this can be written as minus 4 is less than x less than 2. All right. Why? Now why this solution has come? Now if you see x plus 4 and x minus 2, now both this are either one, this should be of different signs, right? Now one will be positive and the other will be negative. Then only this equation will get solved, otherwise it will not get solved, right? So why we have taken it like that? So simply it's by verification. So you can do like this: x plus 4 is less than 0 and x minus 2 is greater than 0. So one is positive number, one is negative number, or you can take x plus 4 is greater than 0 or x minus 2 is less than 0. Okay, so from this we will get x is less than minus 4 and x is greater than 2, whereas from this we will get x is greater than minus 4 or x is less than 2, right? Now what we will do is we will plot both of them. So 2, yeah, minus 4 here, this is the origin. So we will take some value 3, okay, and that will and we will substitute that here, okay. So we will get 3 plus 4 into 3 minus 2, right? X is greater than 2 we have taken, so this will become 7 into 1. Now this is a positive number, whereas we have to get less than 0, so obviously this statement is false. So the answer will be x greater than minus 4 or x less than 2. Okay, simply now again you can take a number here, x less than 2, we will take x equal to 1 and we will substitute in this equation. So 1 plus 4 into 1 minus 2, this is 5 into minus 1, this is less than 0 and this is getting satisfied. That is also you can do, but the simple solution is if there is less than 0 and there is greater than, if the equation is less than 0 and you get roots, say alpha and beta, then the solution will be this one, okay, and you need to write it down. If alpha is the lesser value, you need to write alpha less than x less than beta, okay, and if it is a greater than equation and alpha beta are the roots, you need to simply write x greater than beta and x less than alpha, okay. Or you can solve it like we did. How we solved it? We solved it x plus now multiplication of these two numbers is less than 0, that means they should be of two different signs. So first one I have taken as a positive, so for either x plus 4 is positive, if x plus 4 is positive, x minus 2 is negative, and if x plus 4 is negative, x minus 2 is positive. So both the conditions we find the solutions, and then from one of the solution we substitute the value in the original equation and we see if that is true or not. If it is false, then obviously the other part is the equation. So we'll close it. The length is getting higher in this video. All right. Uh, so we'll continue in the next part. Thank you.